celebrates language, culture, and activism. The language and cultural houses, like the French house and the Spanish house and the Africana house, explore languages and also the cultures of the places where those languages are spoken. And we get to learn all about that in the open houses that they have every year. And then the Lead House and the Human Rights House really have a strong activism component. We really encourage doing something in your community, learning how to be a good leader. And so all of those houses together make a strong community where we're all learning from each other.
Just the cultural aspect of each house is just incredible. There are things that I've learned from the Global Village that I don't think I would learn in my academic classes.
We all celebrate what we believed in and believe in the house. You come into the house as wanting to learn more about it and have a belief that you want to make a difference about it. So those are the things that we do.
There's this communication that's constantly going on between students and faculty, between students themselves. So it's just a great way to have that information and to learn all those types of things.
The small learning classes that we have, I get to interact with the instructors, I get to interact with the pals, I get to know people, the differences, talk about, look at them and we talk about their perspective, my perspective come together, but we still learn to respect each other and be friends, and things like that.
Living in the Global Village has really helped me to interconnect different aspects of my life. When I was living in the Africana house, we were studying about the African diaspora, and I was able to connect those issues to my own South Asian heritage, which was a very interesting experience for me. And then taking those experiences from the Africana house and bringing them into my experience in the Human Rights House has really helped me to realize what I think the university experience should be about, which is interconnecting all your disciplines and interconnecting complex issues to realize how everything is really interconnected.
So one of the best things about being Global Village is the fact that annually some of the houses get to go on trips. So I'm part of the Lead House, and I just got back from the Washington, D.C. trip. And one of the great things about that was we could actually supplement going on a trip and also taking that back with us to class and learning about it. So one of the great things about being in Washington, D.C. is we got to meet all these great women figures who are leaders and who vary from lobbyists to people who are in different organizations.
Components of the Human Rights House is to take a trip during winter break somewhere to learn about human rights. And the first year that I was in the house, we went to South Africa, and we went with the Global Literacy Project. When we were there, we learned about apartheid. We also learned about some of the current problems in South Africa, like poverty and inequality. And we helped build a library in a rural area so that the children in that area could have access to books and the internet. And we also got to go to Mexico and learn about immigration and globalization and the impact that that has on Mexican people and on American people. And we stayed with families when we were in Juarez City in Mexico. And that was extremely eye-opening for all of the women on the trip.
When I think of the Global Village, I would have to say that the experience has been mind-opening.
The Global Village is a great learning experience.
I've been thinking about this because I'm a second semester senior and I'm leaving, unfortunately, very soon in a few short months. And I know that the number one thing I'll miss is the community that I have in the Human Rights House. And that's a word that we hear all the time, community, and I guess you don't really know what it means until you're living in such a tight-knit community.